Welcome to Truth and Transparency Sunday Night Live. Um, this episode's going to be probably as good as it gets. Going to give people a chance to get in chat. Unfortunately, a lot of people have not been able to see my stuff due to people, quote unquote, deleting my content. So tonight's episode is about as good as you can get. Come behind the scenes with me. Again, hello to everybody. Give you guys a chance. I bumped this up a couple hours because I can. Again, hello to everybody. I give people a chance to get in. What you guys are going to be looking at here is a couple different things. What I have out, and I have not opened up one of these binders in a minute, but this is my Watts. This is the PD, all the PD reports. So all my binders were labeled FBI, CBI, PD supplements in order. All my reports were labeled. What the report was, the day of the report, the date that it was written up, but the day that it actually happened as well. So, but we're gonna get into all this jazzy jazz stuff. So yeah, it was the report number, the incident date, and then the report date, and then the officer that was involved, and then the information on the supplement was just like a little bio, I guess you could say, little index. I'm about to show everybody why the Watts went with me. Fuck yeah, who day, baby. I'm gonna give KK the opportunity to talk nothing but the Watts case. If she wants to talk to me about anything else, that gets shut down. But yeah, I talked to Chris on the phone. Where do you think Amanda SV got her info from? She took that from my phone call with him. Glad you're back. Back as in like to Ohio. Yeah, me too. So yeah, grab yourself a wine, grab yourself a beer, grab yourself a water. We're starting this baby in 1 minute and 30 seconds. So saddle up because I'm about to show you guys the lies of Weld County. And the reason that KK does not have a channel. So I'm going to talk about all that stuff. KK doesn't have a channel for a reason. It has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with her. So I'm about to show you guys some cool evidence. And I don't tell people what to think. They can think it on their own, like you're sitting in a jury. You're juror number 13, guys. Juror 13. I almost named my channel Juror 13. I'm not going to lie. That was in the running. Juror 13 was the name of my channel until I decided that, fuck it, TT. Truth and Transparency. What's up, Delaney? This episode, you're going to love it. I know all my Watts Islanders. This is all for you. So, settle up, grab yourself a bed. 1 minute. Uno momento. Woo. Looking so fine, like a good wine should be. All right. Bumblebee, I know you're like heaven. This is heaven for you, Bumblebee, I know. Yeah, it's a great stroll here, guys. Oh, what is up, the new me? Here you go. You're going to enjoy this. The new me is going to definitely enjoy this to see how I tackle stuff. Okay. Where are we at? We at the 5-minute mark? Okay, good. Okay, so I had to block Aunt Lala. who hasn't? Join the club, join the club, join the club. All right. The way that reports work, guys, is if I take an interview from you, I take the interview from you on, let's say, August 1st. Then I go to my handy dandy computer and I type it all up. And what you're looking at is right now in front of you, in front of me, is a typed up report. Now, 9 times out of 10, those typed up reports do not happen on the same day that they are, taken. I need a margarita and a unicorn floaty for this island. Well, at least, Missy, at least you're about to learn something that was never told to you at that other channel. All that money you paid, I'm gonna give it to you for free right here. I was seriously gonna go to jail or get banned from YouTube. She is scary obsessed with you. Oh yeah, a lot of them are. So here we go. Now, pertaining to the Watts case. Again, what I have in front of me is one of the biggest binders. All right. And it has over 95 reports. Okay. And I came across, because everybody wants to talk about stuff. Even if you don't know anything about the Watts case, you're going to be able to appreciate this, because as a juror, you're not supposed to know dick, right? Perfect. So here we go. Those of you guys that do know the Watts case, you're going to remember that on August 20th, 8/20, Nicole Atkinson and her son were interviewed. Okay. And what I have out in front of me is that report. I have, it's 4 pages, because it is 2 pages of written from, and then here are the 2 pages of handwritten notes that you're supposed to then look back at to make your report up, right? Great. Want to make something very clear here. On 8/20/2018, at approximately 17:36 hours, I met with Nicole and her minor son, Nicholas. The date of the report that it was written up, this is very important in this case, was October 7th, 2018. October 7th. For what I did, I didn't do word salad for 400 hours on a autopsy that 2 experts are going to go at and are basically going to say their piece, and it's going to be a wash with, in terms of, bruising or everything to do with the autopsy. You're going to have, the defense is going to have their expert, the prosecution is going to have their expert. At the end of the day, how I viewed that is, it's going to be a wash. I told that to KK numerous times. So you can keep talking about your autopsy, and I'm going to show where we got some problems. The prosecution is going to have some problems. but you keep talking about volleyballs and something that you are not qualified to talk about. Yeah, babe.
Can you please?
It depends. Okay, you just had steak, rice. What would you like? You want a snack? Okay, I can get you a snack. Um, all right. Oh, thank you for the new membership there. All right, welcome back. I'll welcome myself back. Okay, so keep this in mind. This interview, August 20th. August 20th. When you have to turn over discovery, okay, we have to turn over discovery to the defense. If this would have already been written in a report by the end of August, there was a discovery dump turned over them at the end of August. And then another one. There's 3 reasons that I believe that this report was not typed up. And this is what was going to crush them in the courtroom. Because I'm about to blow your mind, Mia. I'm about to blow your mind right now. But let's take it all back here. You guys are juror 13. Here we go. Let's say that Nicholas Atkinson is on the stand, let's say. On 8/20/2018 at approximately, like I told you, this interview was visually and audio recorded. I asked Nick to walk me through the events the first time he and his mother were at the Watts residence. I paid really close attention to the wording in this report. I asked Nick to walk me through the events the first time he and his mother were at the Watts residence. Nick said that he and Nicole, knocked on the front door and received no response. So they opened it using the deadbolt code. So that means that they had the code to get into that door. Nick said the door would not open all the way because of a security latch, hotel style. It was in place. Nick said that they shouted Shanann's name 3 times but received no response. Nick said Nicole moved her car next to the garage door so he could stand on it to see into the garage through the upper panel of the door that contains windows. Nick said he was able to then stand on the car, look through the top of the garage windows, and see Shanann's car in the garage. So they went back to the front door, opened it again, and shouted Shanann's name again several times. Nick then said that he and Nicole called Chris, who told them via speakerphone that Shanann was on a play date. Nick said he learned Chris provided a different story regarding Shanann's whereabouts to her friend, Cassie. Right there, objection. Hearsay, Your Honor. Yeah, you're not able to write anything like that in here, or you're not testifying to that. Nicole then said Watts provided different stories to her, Cassie, Addie, and Sandy, Shanann's mother. And what I was able to find out was they were on, and people don't know this, they were on 3-ways and 4-ways. When they called Chris, they were on, there was multiple people, and it's all of you guys be quiet. I'm calling him, but y'all can listen in. But here, I thought this interview was with Nick. Once again, Nick said he learned that Watts provided a different story regarding Shanann's whereabouts to her friend Cassie. Nicole then said Watts provided different stories to her, Cassie, Addie, and Sandy. Addie's on a plane. Addie is in, because she didn't get to get out of town like the rest of them. She got held up. She was on a plane. Anyways, Chris never talked to Addie during the day. Like during all like the commotion, by the way. Nick said he looked around the house for a way inside for about 40 minutes. So what does your girl do? She highlights 40 minutes. What do I go back and do? 12:20 is when they supposedly got there, according to the handy dandy app. Also, the phone calls from Chris, right? Which is so funny because why would Chris call at 12:10 to talk to them if they're not there yet? Anyways, 40 minutes. You watch around for 40 minutes. That means that from 12:20 to 1 o'clock, that's 40 minutes. 12:20 to 1 o'clock. Nick said he looked around the house for a way inside for about 40 minutes and figured Shanann was inside and unconscious. From his previous dog sitting experience at the Watts residence, Nick said he was aware the alarm system would activate by attempting to raise the garage door and believed the sound of the alarm would wake Shanann if she were in fact asleep or inside. Nick said the alarm triggered but was then disarmed. Now, we all know how alarms work. If you come home from like the grocery store and you accidentally set off your alarm, right? They call you and then like they call you first to make sure it wasn't an accident so that you can like, yeah, I'm sorry, like whatever. You're going to be able to see if that happened. You know what I mean? But this report and the way that it's written is so important because what I'm about to tell you guys. I mean, this is very detailed for a minor child to be thinking like this and saying things like this, right? Absolutely. So, again, Juror 13 with me here. Nick said he looked around the house for a way in for 40 minutes. 40 minutes. At 12:47 is when they left the house. 12:47. So he's off by 13 minutes right now, based on when he arrived, technically. And he said from previous dog sitting experiences at the Watts residence, when did he babysit the dog? Like that would be a question I would ask. Because, well, we'll get to it. He just knew that if you were to lift up on that garage door, that it's going to sound this alarm. Okay. Nick said that Chris called them and told them to leave the house alone and asked them to not call the cops or kick the door open. Nick said they told Watts they weren't at the house and proceeded to drive to Shanann's doctor's office where Nicole learned Shanann hadn't shown up for her appointment. Nick said that he and Nicole drove then back to the Watts residence and attempted to contact Shanann. Well, what do you mean by contact Shanann? Did you use your phone, Nick? Did you use her phone? What do you mean contact Shanann? Nick said he and Nicole drove back to the Watts residence and attempted to contact Shanann and the girls, but again received no response. They called Watts, who stated he was on his way home, but still an hour away. It should be noted that Nick estimated an hour had passed from the first time they had spoke with Watts. Nick said that's when they decided to call the police. This is all contradicting of what, but we'll get to that. Nick said that Officer Coonrod arrived and walked around the house looking for a way inside and also shouted inside through the partially open front door. So, a couple things to think here. If your phone is connected to your security system, every time you would punch in that code to try to gain access, it is going to be a timeline transaction. If your phone is in fact allowing notifications, it's a timeline transaction. Again, when you guys are watching the body cam of this is when Nick and the officer are walking around, and when they get to the deck, they see the neighbor. Well, we know how nosy Nate is. And you're telling me that Nick is prancing around that house outside for 40 fucking minutes? Nate doesn't, like, nothing. Nate doesn't come out saying, "What's up, y'all?" But then immediately when the cop gets there, okay, Nate's out there saying, he's just standing out there, "Oh, hey." And then the cop just happens to say, "Oh, hey, have you seen your neighbor?" But we'll get all of that. When Watts arrived, he, meaning Watts, Chris, entered the garage to the main door, opened the door to Shanann's car, and then walked into the house alone. Nick said Watts ran around the entire house before opening the front door to let them all in. 52 seconds, by the way, because I clocked it. 52 seconds from the time that Chris Watts walked in that door was 52 seconds that then he walked to the front door to open it for all of them. Now, a couple things can be made here. Chris goes in the house and he is frantically looking for his wife and his children, and he's calling their names. Why wouldn't he think that you're just coming in behind him, right? Why wouldn't he go in there and be hunting and looking for his kids and wife? Like, this shouldn't be suspicious if, like, you're going in there and you're calling their names out, because he says here that Watts goes through the garage main door, like, and then he goes to Shanann's, opens up her car door, closes it, then goes into the garage door into the house. And then he says, Nick said that Watts ran around the entire house before opening the front door to let them all in. Well, what window were you looking through to see that, by the way? And why wouldn't he be running all over looking for his fucking kids? What do you want him to do? Why didn't you guys follow him? So then he goes and opens up the front door. Once they were all inside, they all went upstairs where he, Nick, felt like something, quote unquote, wasn't right, and began moving the pillows located on the couch at the top of the stairs. It was then he found Shanann's phone under the pillow. Again, I did the timing of it, and this all happened within 3 minutes. 3 minutes that cell phone was found. I asked Nick what drove him to the couch. He said the couch would be the place he would hide something. Nick said he was going to look under the couch, under the beds, and in Bella's and Celeste's room, but the couch was the closest thing to him. I asked Nick to draw the couch and location of Shanann's phone and relative, with the pillows. Wait a second. Fuck me if I'm wrong right now, But I thought we were going into a house to look for Shanann and 2 children. I'll say this again. If I go to my dad's house and he doesn't answer the door, and I say, I know the code, punch it in, I go in, he's not there, why would I think that his phone would be there? I would never start hunting for my dad's phone. I mean, would you? Like, that would be the least that I wouldn't be thinking about. I mean, Shanann always has her phone. Why would I think that if she wasn't there, that her phone would be there? I wouldn't think that in a million thousand years, right? Let's continue on, because this actually has nothing to do with what I'm going to get at. Now, when asked, Nick said he located the phone under 3 or 4 pillows and that it was face up. Wouldn't you ask if the phone was on or off? But Nicole added Shanann's phone had a clutch on it the prior weekend, but it was no longer on the phone. Nicole described the clutch as being similar to a lanyard, and that Shanann put it around her wrist so that she wouldn't drop her phone. It should be noted the clutch lanyard was attached to the phone when I recovered it. That's interesting. So the phone doesn't have the lanyard, according to Nicole Atkinson. But this officer is saying, well, when I recovered the phone, it had it on it. We'll get to that too. Nick announces he located Shanann's phone, and Watts put his hand out and said, thanks. Nick handed the phone to the officer instead of handing it to Chris, who the officer then handed it to Chris. Officer Coonrod asked Watts if he could access the phone to see if Shanann had texted someone and then left. Nick said Watts didn't know, or he pretended not to know Shanann's password at first, but eventually accessed it using numbers corresponding to their unborn child's projected birth date. Nicole and Cassie suggested via phone using the birth date. Nicole said that both Cassie and Sandy were on speakerphone at one point while they were going through the house. Both at the same damn time. See that whole, like, you're on speakerphone type thing, but yet you're also on 3-ways, because that's what they did with Thrive. Like, they were always on these 3-ways. Nick said while Watts was looking through Shanann's phone, he left to search the basement, but found nothing. Nick went back up to the main level and looked around, but found nothing. He said everyone else came down to the main level as well, so he proceeded upstairs to search the bedrooms and closets. Nick said he noticed the bed in the master bedroom was stripped of the bedding, and he's never seen that before when he's babysat or dog sat at the Watts residence previously. Nick said he walked outside and was approached by a neighbor, Nate, who stated he has a surveillance camera that sees everything. While in Nate's house with Officer Coonrod, Nick said he observed the video footage showing Watts' truck backing up to the garage door, but he couldn't see the back of the truck. I asked Nick how Nate became aware of the situation to begin with. He said when Officer Coonrod arrived, he and Nick walked around the outside of the house with him, and that's when Nate first became aware of Shanann and the fact that she was missing. Nick said Chris followed them into Nate's house as well as to watch the video surveillance footage. Nick said he seemed like Watts was attempting to block the footage for their view. And Watts was walking around the truck while Watts was walking around the truck in the video. Nick said he went back into the Watts residence and looked around some more and discovered a red spot on a plant located on the lower landing of the main staircase. It should be noted that they inspected the spot and determined it was inconsistent with blood. Nick recalled Watts, Officer Coonrod, and him looking around inside the house, but said his memory was a blurry after that. Nick said he, Madison, his toddler-age sister, and Nicole left their car when Sandy called and asked Nicole to return to Nate's house and provide him with Frank's phone number. I asked Nick if he was aware of Watts' prior knowledge of Nate's cameras and the direction it pointed. Nick, a minor, Nick said he knew Watts was aware of the camera because Watts, stated he's previously asked Nate to review footage regarding an audio trespassing. And then near the end of the interview, Nicole offered information regarding the app named Life 360. That's where Life 360 comes into play. Now, Nicole agreed to send screenshots of her activity to me. On 8/22, I received from Nicole via email 16 screenshots in JPEG form. The screenshots will be included in the digital case file as evidence. Why would this report have Nicole's digital evidence? Why wouldn't that go with her report? Why would it go with Nick's? Now, I then took the written notes and tried to make light of this. And what I was able to determine was things are whited out, and the first thing, opened front then went to garage door and then it's whited out. Anyways, saying that they called Chris something called friends. None of that's true because Chris was the one calling them. Lifted garage door to sound the alarm to wake Shanann. This was at 12:42, right? So I went ahead and I said, something's up with that. Something is definitely up with that. Why would this report that was taken on 8/20 need to sit? Okay, now we can go ahead and type it up on 10/7. I mean, 10/7. That's a long time. 8/20, 9/20, 10/7. Wow, shit, like 6-7 weeks. So then homie G Lana came across police supplement report 73, September 21st. Quote unquote, the September lady. Okay. And this is what you're looking at right now. And this is going to blow your dicks off. Okay. Now, here we go. I'm going to back this up just a second. You can kind of see it, but you kind of can't. This is Brent Manley. It's his report. The date of the report was 9/21. The time of the report is 19:34 hours. So 7:34 p.m. This is very important. 7:34 p.m. Now, Again, the September lady, the incident happened on 9/21. Wait, the report was written on the same day, but yet Mr. Minor Nicholas Atkins 8/20 interviewed, and that shit can't get typed up until 10/7. Whoo! Fuck, damn. Interesting. Here we go. On September 21st, 2018, at about 18:05 hours, or does it say 16? Hold on. I want to read from my stuff. Okay, here we go. Yeah, 18:05 hours. So 6:05, right? Yeah, 6:05 p.m. I, Sergeant Manley, was advised by Weld County Dispatch of a suspicious incident at 2825 Saratoga Trail within the town limits of Frederick. I was advised that the person that called, Sandy, stated that she got a text message from an unknown number, and the text stated that the back door to 2825 Saratoga Trails was open. Sandy said that there should not be anyone in or near the house at this time. So Brent Manley, he said, I arrived. Yes, sir. Okay. I just walked away for a second. So Officer Manley arrived at the house with Officer Lines, Kathleen Lines. She's my homie. We walked to the front door of the house and we tried to open up the front door. The door was secure. I looked through the windows on both sides of the door, and did not see anything that said the front door, and did not see anything out of place or any signs that someone had made entry into the house. Officer Lines and I, so Manley, Brent Manley, and Officer Lines, Kathleen, so man and woman, they walked in around the front of the house to access the gate, which I had to do when I was there, on the side of the house, which is the side of Nate's house. But prior to doing that, Brent Manley says, I tried to pick up. Let me do the rest?
Yeah.
This is good. Hold on. Okay. All right. All right. So before I continue, does anybody have any questions right now? I just pause it for a second. Um, Great question. Can't answer it. How did Nicholas and NA both know that CW never backs his truck up in the driveway? I'll give this one up. It's because it would wake up the kids. So, but that's going to come back to haunt them though. Why then did Nicole Atkinson turn into the driveway to drop off Shanann? So Chris Watts doesn't back up anytime because it would wake up the kids, and opening up that garage door, it would wake up the kids. So why did Nicole Atkinson pull into the driveway to drop off Shanann that night? It would wake up the kids. So, all right, let's continue on though. Okay. Now, right here. So I took this report, and the first note I made, I said, Officer Lyons and I walked around the front of the house to access the gate to the backyard. But before you went ahead and did that, you tried to pick up both garage doors to ensure they were still secure. But did this sound the alarm? No, it didn't. Interesting. So remember in my first report, Nick said that he knew to lift up on the garage because it would sound the alarm. They did the same thing. This male, stronger, bigger, nothing. As we walked around the house, I was looking in all the windows and screens. Well, I've been at the house. That would be in the basement are the windows along the side. And then if you want to go to the back and you're actually at the deck, if you go up, then you can see through just the slider. But that side of the house between Nate and the Wattses, there's no windows. That's the garage. Okay. And then when you get to the back, there's no windows over there. Not on that side of the house anyway. So you are not looking in anything until you get to the back of the house, or if you're in the window wells, which means you're in the basement looking in. So these people lifted up. No, it didn't sound any alarms. But Nick had to say that he lifted it up because he was trying to alert the fact that, or was it that you were coming out the house? We'll continue. We walked around the back of the house. I noticed that the back of the door, the screen door was slid open. I walked up to the steps and observed that the door was closed and that there was a security bar in place preventing anyone from entering the door. The curtains were in place and did not seem disrupted. After looking to see that all the windows and doors appeared secure in the back of the house, we walked back up to the front. As I was walking by the garage, I noticed that the garage lights were on. I did not recall that the lights were on when I walked up the first time. Well, so the only way that's possible to be like very memorable is of how dark it would have been at that point. I do not recall the lights were on when I walked up. The house appeared secure at this time, and I did not see any indication that someone had been in or around the house. Officer Lyons and I cleared without incident. They left. Okay. Then, because this is what people don't know, then at about 1951 hours, I was contacted by dispatch again. So they went to the house at 1805 hours, left. At about 1951 hours, I was contacted again by dispatch. I was told that Frank called in stating that he spoke to the neighbor, Nate. According to Frank, Nate stated that the garage lights were still on and that they had not been on in the days past. I responded back to the address and spoke with Nate. Now, at about 1951 hours, 7:51, what did I tell you guys to pay attention to? Let me show you. The top here, 1934 hours. How in the world can you have a report written up and documented before the events ever happen? On September 21st, they go there at 1805 hours, 6:05 p.m. They then leave. Then they are dispatched again at 1951, which would be 7:51 p.m. This report is typed up, not written, motherfucking typed up at 1934, 7:34 p.m. This was a done deal. How the fuck is that possible? At about 1951 hours, I was contacted by dispatch again. I was told a Frank Rusick called in stating that he spoke to the neighbor Nate. This is why Ronnie Watts, Jamie Watts, I don't know what world Cindy's in. This is why Lana Oriani went to Denver. I believe that everything about this was staged for a reason. And it has to do with everything that actually took place on the day that Nick and NA were at that house and everything to do with that report. At about 1951 hours, I was contacted to go back out there again, but yet I already have my report written. It was so they could have all of this information. Listen up clearly. I responded back to the address and spoke with Nate. He was able to show me video from his Vivint home security system on his phone. That means now we know that Nate not only can watch from his television. Your camera is ready for setup. Follow the instructions in the SimpliSafe app to get started. Not only can Nate watch from his TV, but he can watch from his app. So he's showing them on the home security on his phone. He showed me that a female walked up to the house at about 9 a.m. and was seen walking up to the front door. There is no video of the female leaving the area. And shortly after, there is a black SUV that is seen passing the house slowly. Nate was able to show me 3 different videos showing the black SUV going slow by the house shortly after the female was seen walking into the front door. Walking to the front door, not walking in, but walking to. I did not see anyone leave the vehicle and approach the house, and did not see anyone come from the house and get into the vehicle. I was able to use a ladder that Nate provided and looked into the top windows of the garage. I did not see anything that indicated anyone was in the garage. So right here, they're saying this to prove Nick's statements of that he was able to get on a car and see in through those windows and that you could actually see something. Because remember, that garage has no windows. So if Nick was to get up on the top of his mom's car and look in, if it's pitch black, how are you able to see anything? Well, the outside light, you know, but here this happened in dark. It was dark. But hey, let's continue on. Oh, and Nate just was, here you go. Here's a ladder for you. I did not see anything indicating anyone was in the garage, and it did not appear that anyone went through anything in there. Nate explained that he had spoken with other neighbors in the area. When did Nate speak with other neighbors in the area to be able to say this comment? Nate explained that he had spoken with other neighbors in the area, and they also had not seen any lights on in the garage in the last few days. Nate, who did you chum it up with? Like, just, I mean, first of all, this was written before it even fucking happened, but just curious who you were chumming it up with. It gets better. While I was looking in the windows, I pushed on the garage, sounding an alarm. Now we have to make sure that the garage does sound an alarm. Because, oh boy, we fucked. Motherfucker lifting it. Now they just bump into it. Oh, sound the alarm. You can't fucking make this shit up, man. And my thing is okay, while I was looking in the windows, I pushed on the garage, sounding an alarm. This is to corroborate Nick's fucking report. They're basically replicating what Nick and NA did the night, or say the day that they went to this home. Gets better. Again, this is why I went to Denver. Not anybody else. Give me a discovery, I'll destroy it. Like I said, it gets better. So I said, well, was 911 called? If you set off a fucking alarm, like there has to be a report. Was 911 called? And who canceled it? Who canceled, like, hey, it was us, we set it off. I spoke to Frank by phone. This is just picking up. I spoke to Frank by phone. He told me that he did not think the lights should have been on either. I told him about the alarm. And he stated that he did not think the alarm was set when he left the residence a few weeks prior. He asked if we would clear the house and make sure that no one was in the house. I will take that compliment. Thank you. They provided me with a door code for the front door. So that let me know when I was doing my research, okay, there was a code still and that the Rusiks knew it. I explained that I would get a few more officers at the house and we would make sure that there was no one there. Officer Lyons, Perez, Cooksey, Fratelli, all on scene. Here we go. With the image of the party walking up to the door and not seen leaving the house and the lights on in the garage, I wanted to make sure we cleared the house as safely as possible. All 5 of us walked up to the front door. I put the door code in and unlocked the door. I opened the door and made several announcements. Frederick police! Anyone in the house? Make yourself known. No. I did not hear or see anything in the house. I made those announcements several times while we walked through the house, clearing room by room. We did not locate anyone in the house, and we did not observe anything out of place or something that was obviously missing. We checked all cabinets and closets along with the rooms because I hide in cabinets. As we left the house, the garage lights were turned off, and all lights that we had turned on while searching the house were turned off. As we left the residence, I was able to secure the front door to the house and check to make sure the door was locked. I spoke with Nate again and advised him that there was no one in the house and that if he would be able to look at his cameras again and see if he could see when the female left the area and to see if there was a vehicle associated with this. As of 9/22, so just the next day, I had not heard from Nate. I was wearing a body cam during the time, the audio and visual, boom, boom, boom. So, now, first things first. How do you have a report written about an incident before the incident ever happens? Explain that to me. How do you have this the day of, right as it's happening? Literally, right as it's happening. Well, allegedly. But yet, Nicholas Atkinson's report had to wait 7 weeks to get the fuck in the binder. Explain that to me. Explain that on the stand. Where you at, KK? You still talking about the autopsy, baby? Okay. Because guess what? Experts, blow yourself. Yeah, whatever. So is this what you guys learned while you guys were part of that 120,000 person channel? Is this what you guys learned on Facebook groups? Or are you guys still just discussing Shanann's photos with her children? The fuck out of here. Oh, everything about it's just fucked. Everything about it's just fucked. If I was to ask KK, name me 5 police officers that investigated this case, what do you think she'd say? Well, she'd probably shit her pants. Name 3 FBI agents. Name 3 CBI people. I could probably name the whole damn crew, but when it comes to this case, people think that I think that Chris is innocent. You're wrong. You have no idea what I think. But what I can prove is that the narrative that they put out is not true. It's 100% not true. What is true? No idea. But I'm so sick and tired of these him hoes, KK Lala, blah blah, fla fla, Gina, Andrea. You guys don't know shit. All they want to talk about is drama. Well, here, let's talk about the case that we all met on. Let's talk about this case and the facts surrounding it. Do you know them? And the answer to that is no. Why won't Chris speak out? Chris has no idea. You think that Chris looks at his discovery? Do you think that Chris has all this? Because according to Kim, she sent it all to him. He doesn't have all this. Chris has no idea what is going on. Chris has no idea what's going on in his life. Chris, you think that Chris even like knew? You have zero resources in prison, guys. Like, I mean, I don't speak out about what he doesn't know anything. He doesn't know this shit. Um, he doesn't know anything about this. He doesn't know, literally, the man doesn't know dick. And none of these people know dick. That's the truth. And neither do we. And neither does Weld County. But what I can tell you is that they were in an investigative phase. And if you're in an investigative phase, you take the report, you type it up, and you put it in. Why are you picking and choosing which reports are being typed up and which aren't? And how the fuck do you have a report? You guys all want to talk about the September lady. Let's all talk about it. You guys, the report was written before the fucking incident. So take that, put it in your pipe, and smoke it. Because that's what I proved. But yet everybody's still just talking about stupid shit. Again, I know it's hard to hear, but Chris Watts is a coward any way you slice it. The motherfucking men. Anybody that can talk to KK and think that, why do you think he blocked KK? You think it was because of me? Nope. It was because he entertained KK because of his mom. Them's the facts. I have that on record. You want to talk about KK? Want to talk about money? I didn't start a YouTube channel, Kim. You've lost 2 YouTube channels. 2, not 1, 2. Thriving for the Truth. I named it. You started a channel because I said, I'm not doing fucking YouTube. Have you lost your mind? She started a YouTube channel in 2018. It was taken down by J and K. So she lost not 1 channel, but 2 channels. How many wives have you lost? Get the fuck out of here. But see, there was no discovery, guys. You have to remember this. I know that none of you guys were in my Facebook group. It was very small, and I actually did like show everything, but none of this stuff was available. The moment that his attorneys got a different version of what he said, like one of those versions is a false confession. I mean, at that point, you don't listen to a word that Chris Watts has to say. Chris Watts doesn't know shit. Okay. Both of these people started getting super comfortable with lying to the other person. Them's the facts. They lived a lie. How do you know Chris is a coward? I don't think that. Oh, I do. I do. I think it because I've talked to the man. I think it because of what he did to his dad. Um, so, and I'm choosing to keep that to myself. I think he thinks. I think he's taking the blame because he feels guilty. Um, Lisa, I thought a lot of things until you think about one thing, and there's just no way in fucking hell I would ever let my parents, let my sister, let my brother, let my family, let anybody think that I hurt my kid if I didn't hurt my kid. Uh, my kid's gonna trump my wife. My kid's gonna trump my spouse. And um, you could say, well, he wanted to spare what? The truth, all the shit that's gonna come out, like kind of like me going to trial on the 7th, all the stuff that's gonna come out. Um, I don't believe that anybody is in the right state of mind after something like that, regardless of your involvement, whatever it may be, to think and to process. I think his lawyers failed him completely. His lawyers should have never let him talk to anybody besides his family, um, especially not the district attorney. You can go through me. You go through your attorneys. Attorneys go through attorneys. You don't just let somebody have at your client. The fuck are you talking about? Um, so, um, but I can prove that the prosecution, why would you make a deal with the devil? Why would you ever make a deal with the devil? I can prove that the prosecution knew something was wrong. And on this date, here we go. I'm gonna read you guys something. Let me ask you guys. Wait. How about I just do this? You know what? I just know all this because I have a source, but I'm not gonna say a word about my source. So like, I'm just gonna tell you guys that it's a pretty reliable source. I know somebody that knows somebody that's like CBI and FBI in Denver. You mean, guys, I live here. I didn't watch one episode of Broad. Okay. I agree with that. Even if he would have been found innocent, everything was gone. Um, I love my sister. I love my parents. Um, what the world, if my parents and my sister were in the shoes of the Watts family, there's no way in hell I would let the world think of them the way that this world does. And for that reason, when you want to say that you lost everything, well, then you're giving no credit to your parents and you're giving no credit to your sibling. And I disagree with that. Yes, you lost your children and your wife. Um, but at some point, where do you think about your parents and your sibling? Um, and what do you think about yourself? Where's your self dignity? Where's your self respect? Would you ever let people talk and say that you molested your kids? There's no fucking way. I don't care what came out, but that shit would be put to rest. Um, um, yeah, my husband doesn't have our banking login, so to me that isn't that strange. Yeah, no, it's 100%. I don't think that's strange at all. Um, how does he know anyone is saying that they think he molested his kids? Oh, because they tell him. You don't know this? KK Kelly. Who do you think tells him all this stuff? Or who do you think was telling him all this stuff? I talked to Anna for a long time. And I would say, Anna, I mean, Chris doesn't have the capability of being in Facebook underground groups. Chris wouldn't know any of this shit. Which one of you broads is saying this? Who's telling him this stuff? Why would it ever be like, well, Chris doesn't want to move forward because he doesn't want his family harassed? Harassed? No, you're Chris, move forward so that your family can be cleared of helping you execute your family. Like, what's wrong with, oh, Kim, oh, Kelly, like Jamie, Cindy. I had a talk with Ronnie. I said, who, Chris doesn't have the ability to know anything. So who's telling him things? And why are you guys just telling him this underground troll rumor bullshit? But you guys, um, how would Chris know about Shazam? Who told him? Who had a motive to tell him? Oh. Anyways, you know, let's remind ourselves that Kelly went on Kay's channel and said that Chris should put a gun in his mouth and blow his brains out. I had no idea that Kelly said that. Why the fuck was Kelly coming to Denver? I had no clue about that. But you know who knew about that? Gina. Did she say anything? No. Kim, KK, she knew she said that. Cindy, Ronnie, Jamie, Jay. How the fuck would I know? I never watched any of that shit. Like I said, when I talked to Gina that one night, I told her, I said, Gina, um, hello. You said that Kay did all these things or Jay did all these things, and I asked you, what are you talking about? Tell me, prove it. I just give it to me. And she never could give me shit. Well, it's because Jay took down all of those episodes, about the whole whatever. I didn't know about any of that stuff because I didn't watch YouTube. I didn't give a fuck about YouTube. Um, he didn't know. Somebody just said, I wonder about that. Is that true, Lana? Is what true? I do wonder how they intended to pay for the girls' school that was starting that Monday. No, there's text messages that said that Shanann wrote to, I believe it was Addie. about that she wasn't going to be sending the kids there because it was too expensive. So, I mean, mortgage, Primrose. Stupid. I heard it March 4th, 2019 on her show. They had just gotten off the phone with the Watts and Chris. Yeah. She said that he needs to put a gun in his mouth and blow his fucking brains out. But hey, let's bring her ass to fucking Denver. That sounds like a great idea. Sign me up. You know what's funny is I've never revealed all of mine, and I've never even revealed, I don't think, any of mine and Kelly's text messages. I probably should. I want to tell you guys about something. On October, remember those dates I told you? October 7th was written in the report, October 7th. On October 5th, 2018, this is, I call them the gang unit. This is the Greeley Police Department original narrative, which is from Michael D. Prill, the gang unit. So I just call him the gang unit. On October 5th, 2018, I preserved Watt's name summary report and inmate data from the Spillman database. In accordance with the court's order, I did not preserve nor review, if available, any information contained within Watt's visitor logs. Right. I also preserved 4 booking photographs of Watts contained in Spielman. Okay, this is October 5th. Okay. October 7th. Finally, the report goes in. October 11th. On October 11th, 2018, I attended a meeting. So 4 days later, I attended a meeting involving, I call him Detective Baumhover, and members of the prosecution, which would be the DA. Collectively, we identified a myriad of topics requiring attention during further follow-up investigation in this matter, in the Chris Watts case, in all of this shit. So they have all of this stuff. Then they all get together on October 11th. And they list, we got some problems. This is the evidence. This is it right here. October 11th, we identified, we got some problems. During future follow-up investigation in this matter, for my part, the next step in my investigation will be a review of the data extracted from the phones. That means that only from October 11th until the date that he gave, which was, I want to say it was the 31st, but I want to double check. Yeah, 10/30. So 20 days. 18 days. 18 days. He put, when I say the extraction, it is the 6 weeks that they put together that you guys would see. All he did was he put what he deemed relevant. What he deemed relevant out of the phones in this 6 week period. Well, if you only extracted data from that 6 week period, then how would there be something from 2017? There wouldn't be. So right there, the 2017 Nicole Kessinger looking up, that wasn't even extracted. That wasn't even pulled. So people that want to make that a big deal, that's not a big deal because that wasn't even available. They didn't even pull that data. So when they're talking about that could be a typo, I think somebody was being a fucker. That's what I think. See, Lana could set and read all this, and I can't see good anymore, let alone keep up. Thank you for sharing what you can. Welcome. Um, sorry, I'm looking at. Um, yeah, go ahead and do that. Lana, can we talk about Amanda Thayer's interview and the whiteout, please? Yeah, we can. Um, what I think's bigger is that you guys, the video, the surveillance from Nate's camera, it came back like this when the subpoena came back, when the warrant came back, nothing, there was nothing recorded that day. Between that time period, nothing came back. On September 21st, the police officer says, Nate, we need you to get back in touch with us and give us information on this woman. I hadn't heard back from Nate on the 9/22. Well, wouldn't you go and drive your happy the fuck ass over to Nate's house and talk to the motherfucker? Like, we're talking about one of the biggest cases of 2018, and this officer writes in a report that, yeah, as of 9/22, I haven't heard back from Nate. Well, I don't know, drive the fuck over there and talk to Nate yourself and put it in your fucking report that's already predated. I mean, everybody from fucking Frederick should be fucking fired. This is a goddamn joke. And this is what makes me nervous going to Frederick or that area, Broomsfield, where the fuck it is, to do anything. NK is guilty. Guilty of what? Renee, no proof, end date. He led no one to believe he was stupid. He was passive. Shanann said she wore the pants in the family. Yeah, I think he was. I mean, okay. Have you guys ever taken the time? I did it on a live in my Facebook group. Have you guys ever taken the time to see what Chris Watts actually did when Shanann left, when she was gone? Did anybody ever take the time to actually look at the activities that he did and look at the expenses of those activities? Now, Chris doesn't do the banking, right? So what I did with my group, I said, guys, we are going to go down memory lane, and he was paying for all of this shit for him and Nicole Kessinger. So let's add this all up. How much money did he spend in that 6-week period? Because it's always been talked about, oh, he used gift cards. Oh, he used gift cards. Well, fuck, how many gift cards did he have? How much money and gift cards did he have? And then don't you think that, I mean, come on, we know Shanann. She's going to be in charge of those gift cards. Hey, babe, don't forget when you come to North Carolina to grab those gift cards. Make sure you have those gift cards because we're going to use them while we're here on vacation. He shows up to North Carolina and his gift cards had what on them? Or did he say, oh my God, I forgot them? But it's just been talked about that this man paid for both. I mean, do you know how much it was to go to what was it? When they did the NASCAR, wasn't it NASCAR? Where'd they go? I looked that up. That was like $200 a ticket. Like, what? I don't think I just think when you become a parent, okay, your life changes. Like when you become a new parent, like it's the kids waking up every so many hours, like you're just, you guys, these people didn't go out and hang out with friends and were out like with their friends hanging out. That's not what these people did. They weren't like, oh, Thursday night it's ladies' night at, Bob's Saloon. We're going to sing karaoke. Like, that's what I love to do. So all me and my friends go up and meet up there. They didn't do anything like that. They didn't. What did they do? What did they do together? He got up in the morning and went to work. She got up in the morning, took the kids to Primrose. She did whatever with the business. He gets off work. He comes home, switches vehicles, goes pick up the kids, comes back home. On the way home, would pick up food, or they'd make food at the house. Then do what? The kids would go to bed, and then what they would do. There's no babysitters there during the week. They're not doing anything. Did you see any on any of those, like all you guys that social media, like sleuth? A cookout, having like the cornhole boards out, and or getting dressed up and going trick or treating. And I mean, where was all that stuff? Where was having friends over on a random, someone's birthday, or um, St. Patrick's Day, going down to a parade? I mean, I'm just, fuck the holidays, just anything. Like going to Rudy's, woo, like me. Um, the thing that I think that was very interesting with NK is that NK was interviewed. This is the only person that was interviewed by multiple agencies. Everybody else had one interview and that was it. You have to understand, guys, we're to a period, like this is an investigation to the point that they're just gathering information and they're not doing follow-ups. The only person that I feel like there was follow-ups with was with Nicole Kessinger. Everybody else was, you're giving your statement and then that's it. There was no like, hey, we have to call you in because this isn't adding up. But that's where October 11th was heading to. They had that meeting October 11th, and that's when they said, this was our whole, we got some fucking problems, man. And then what happened after October 11th? We got some fucking problems. We need this motherfucker to sign a deal. We are fucked if we go to trial. And I don't know why they'd be fucked, but all I can tell you is they were shitting their pants and they wanted a deal. And they went to the Rusiks and they told them that there needed to be a deal. Wow, perfect passive aggressive impression there. Sure sounds good. Sorry, I'm trying to look at your guys' stuff. New Orleans lady, count of 4. I don't think that they did any more. I don't think they did anything. Boring, yes, 100%. I don't think they did anything. Boring lives, I guess. V for vindicated. They never did anything together. I wish I could have brought some cornhole boards over. The girls would at least enjoy them without feeling scared and insecure. Nope, they didn't. Um, Have you guys ever taken a look at the call log to see who was calling into the Frederick Police Department? If you think Frederick police were calling these women from Thrive to get their statements, that's not what was happening. These people were calling the police department, and it's all in the logs. So the same can be said about the two Sandys that wrote letters. You got okay. Can we all just get rational for 1 second? Think about this. It's 2018. It's only a couple years back. Technology is very similar to what it is now. Why? Okay. Nicole Kessinger and Chris Watts knew each other for 6 weeks. 6 weeks. I'm going to help a man annihilate his family for the sand dunes. I already know about his kids. Like, how the fuck are we going to get away with this? How the fuck are we going to get away with this? Nicole Kessinger isn't a moron. Like, she's an educated female. Within 6 weeks, you're teaming up with, in a sense, a stranger in Chris Watts. And because he can eat good pee, what I will say that the problem with all of this, in my opinion, is I believe that Chris was hiding the fact that Shanann was pregnant. Or was he? Or was that just Nicole Kessinger's way? Now, listen, when you guys go and talk to a PR firm, they're not lawyers. Okay? They're not lawyers. This is a PR firm. Hey, we're here to fix your image. You didn't know shit about that kid. You understand me? Nicole Kessinger was a stalker who just couldn't stand the fact Shanann Watts is coming back home to Chris Watts. She knew Shanann Watts would talk Chris Watts out of leaving. Okay. Have you guys checked the phone records? Have you guys checked the phone records? Let me tell you guys something. Let me just tell you guys something. Yeah, baby. You better be growing then. Who was calling who? Were those incoming calls, outgoing calls? Who was calling who? So Nicole Kessinger took things into her own hands. So then, Renee, if you believe this is true, then you would believe that Chris Watts is a coward, because what kind of man would let a stranger murder his kids, right? So then, me saying that Chris Watts is a coward, you would agree with that. Sandy was yeah, she was actually. Yeah, baby, come down here. Come down here so you can get a snack, please. We have some that say no way NK was involved. There's no way she would have. Jesus. They know she wasn't there from her GPS, and she was making 124,000 salary. Chris was dead broke. He decided to cut loose baggage. Story old as time. In my opinion, NK is only guilty of getting involved with a married man. I do think that she was like acting strange with one of the officers, and that's why he said, "Here, you're going to be dealing with Detective Bumhalver," because she was messaging at all times of the night and being like, "Oh, I remembered this," or "Oh, I remembered this," and she was messing stuff up. But you also have to remember, you never know what Chris told her. That's why I think that all of her friends, uh, you know, why do I believe that Shanann Watts' friends have different stories? Because Shanann Watts was lying to her friends. That's why. Do I think that everybody's lying in this case? No. I think that when you look at it, there's two liars, and Chris Watts and Shanann were the liars. That's just what was happening. They were lying to each other, they were living a lie, and they were lying to their friends. So therefore, when you ask them a question when you're being interviewed by the police, they're going to just, well, this is what she told me. It doesn't make me a liar. I'm just telling you what this broad told me. But how it could come across in paperwork would be like, what the fuck is this girl talking about? You really think that it was only 6 weeks? Yes, I do. I do. Um, there's no way she did not know Shanann was pregnant, but I think we've moved past that. Um, no, I said that Chris, um, Chris was never talking about the baby, period. Not just with Nicole Kessinger, period. Now, maybe he didn't believe the baby was his. I don't know. But all I can tell you is that um, if you really dissect that video, he's shocked to shit that she's pregnant. He's like, wow, like, wait, what? Like, that's a guy being shocked. Not that I don't want the baby. We fucked once. Wow. Um, Nicole Kessinger said FBI. Nicole said FBI. She told us what's to work.
Where's my ice cream?
Oh, it's on the stairs, bro.
Okay, could you please give it to me?
No, I need you to use your legs. Mom, meatloaf. No. NK said FBI. She told Chris Watts to. Okay, so guys, actually, I want to talk about this. No, technically, no, no, no. He took pictures. Okay, she sent pictures. He took pictures. What he did is before he went to North Carolina, he's sitting there at the airport. He's sitting there the couple days leading up to it and moving pictures over from his regular part of his phone to his computer app or calculator app. Like, it doesn't mean she's bombarding him with those pictures right then and there. No, he's going through his phone to try to get shit out of that was sent over across the time. Doesn't mean she sent those right then and when he moved them. So I think that that's really important to note. Um, and clearly, I mean, some people like to send nudes. I mean, I don't know. I can't really talk about that. Um, but Nicole Kessinger, I mean, just think about it. Just close your eyes and just think about you're single. You're fucking around with some dude that's married, saying that he's gonna leave his wife, and then all of a sudden he calls you and says his family's missing. What goes through your mind? Like, close your eyes and really think about that. You'd be like, wait, what? What do you mean they're missing? And then he just tells you, I don't know. I think she's just pissed off at me because of whatever, and that situation, and you're like, so I think she just took the kids. I don't know. She's probably just blowing off some steam, and she's trying to fuck with me or whatever. I don't know. Like, would you? I wouldn't question that at that point. Why would you? Wouldn't be like, oh my god, she's fucking dead. You wouldn't. You'd be like, you just wouldn't, especially knowing the situation. You just, I mean, and if you're gonna say that, then. Mm. I'm I'm all about my baby boy. That's just, he would not get that in the courtroom. He, like, they threw everything that would stick, but he just signed on everything. That would not. That was said many times to me in Denver. Yes, I think there's a possibility of that. Oh wait, Cece. Um, no, I mean, I, honestly, there's a possibility of anything at this point. But um, if you watch that video, though, that is a guy that's not disappointed. That's a guy that's shocked. Like, I fucked this bitch once. How the fuck is she pregnant? Type of thing. Um, again, when somebody wants to say, because I've read everything that NK has wrote. You can't consider somebody a liar, because if you tell me something and that's what I tell the world, but then we all see, no, that's not true. Well, I, that's what this motherfucker told me. How am I lying? I'm just repeating what this cat told me. Um, I do think I have always thought it was interesting that she knew what color card he paid the meal with that night. And I think that that's important because I believe she was the one that said, okay, if you really are divorced or getting divorced or this is over, then pay with your regular card. I do believe that there was talk about that. That's why there was balances on those cards in his wallet of like $20. Um, yeah. Since you're all about the digital evidence, why does it say in the discovery that NK Googled Shanann a year prior? If it was a year prior, it'd be December 2017. So clearly you don't know much about the case because the murder happened in 2018. But it's there that data wasn't even taken. They only went out 6 weeks to take the data. So how would this even be in there? That's what you have to ask somebody. And guess what? Do you know when it's extracted? Do you know what extracted means? Let me explain this. That little type thing that you see, that isn't um, from directly downloaded from her phone and it just went in there like that. That's not what that means. What it means is you have the information in front of you and then you're picking and choosing what you deem important to put in a report. It's called logic extraction. And that's what the gang unit did, logic extraction. And when I went through things, I said, well, don't you think that this would be important? Why aren't you talking about this? Why are you leaving this out, this out, this out? It's because they left that stuff on purpose. But nothing would be extracted from 2017. So, yeah, no, and it would be typed up. That's Homeboy that did it. So you'd want to ask Michael D. Prill what the fuck his problem is. And the DA said that when anybody called and asked about that, he's like, it was a typo. And I actually believe that because that data wasn't even looked at and they weren't pulling information from 2017. They were only going back 6 weeks. So then let's just hypothetically say that if you just change the year on that, if it was a typo and it wasn't 17 and it was actually 18, it would make sense if she Googled it. Come on, think about this. Can you Google something after the fact? Yeah. Uh, not delete all my texts and calls from him. Um, I disagree. Uh, when you say all of them, it just depends on what type of person you are. Um, I think that a lot of women out there, there's no way in hell that you're getting my nudes. Think about that. Think about how wrong they did NK. If I was NK, I would sue the fuck out of Weld County. Um, they redacted a ton of shit. Why didn't they redact her stuff about her? They don't need to know that I think Chris Watts can eat pee. I'm just mm-mm-mm. Yep, I brought this up to everybody's attention. Actually, that was me that told people that. I showed the two phones. This is Chris Watts lying. Why did Chris Watts say that his phone didn't work? I need a call from a different phone. How was that NK's fault? Chris Watts. I mean, do you want me to read the report? Officer Baby Dow, Officer Goodell. It's report number 5. At approximately 2 a.m., I'm sorry, it's Goodman, not Goodell. It's report 2 at 2 a.m. At approximately 2 a.m. on Tuesday, August 14th, I contacted Christopher to gather some information that was required on the missing persons report. Calling at 2 o'clock in the morning for a missing persons report. Like basically the day, like the boom, it just happened. Like I think that's weird. You can't get people to do shit for 48 hours when people go missing. But they're calling him at 2 o'clock in the morning to get information on the girl's height, weight, hair, and eye color, and any scars or marks. When I tried speaking with Chris at that time, I had called the telephone number he had provided. Several attempts had been made to call Chris. He was on the phone with Nicole Kessinger at the time with that phone. But when the number would be contacted, there was just dead air. At approximately 2:05 a.m., I received a call from Christopher's phone, but it was a different telephone number. Christopher told me something had been wrong with his telephone and he had now been calling me from his work phone. What I can tell you is that Chris kept Nicole Kessinger on his regular cell phone line, picked up the work phone, because I believe Nicole wanted to know what the fuck was going on. Why are the police calling you at 2 o'clock in the morning? What the hell's going on, Chris? Oh, here, put me on. So that's actually how that all went down. And then I went and looked at the call log, and I was able to compare the call logs. So who was lying there? Is Chris's phone not working? No, his phone is working. Why is Chris lying about that? Like, how fucking stupid are you? She smashed her whole SIM card. I think she took it all out there. I don't think she just did Chris, but not one member of the family flew out there, even though they believed she was missing. That's correct. Oh, Lana, I got questions. Put them up here. He had an answer to it. I don't think you're listening. They didn't even pull data from 2017. So they didn't even go back that far. They didn't run it back that far. So I answered that though. I think she is going to. I think that come that 5-year mark, look out. Yes, they did say it was a typo. Again, I'll repeat it one more time. If you're only extracting and pulling data for 6 weeks, that should tell you everything. That wouldn't be there. And it's not coming from the fucking phone. I'll say this one more time. This information is not coming from the phone. The information is, but when he's typing up his little report, he's typing it up. It's not, he's not, this isn't just like, oh, here's the download and just downloaded everything. Here you go. Here's everything. That's not what we have. And so that's the other thing that people don't get. When we're asking questions to the DA, if you think the DA went through this whole discovery, I have an email that says that he did not. The email says that he finally did. And it was when he returned my email. February. I don't remember the date. It was February of 2021. So, no, if you think that the DA has ever looked at this prior to February 2021, you're wrong. He didn't. Why was her family not concerned? You have to ask her family all those questions. I don't know. I'm not her family. I'm not going to speak for people. Um, Lana explained perfectly how this was in fact since they didn't even go back that far in the data. Thank you very much, though. I don't know what that even means. You did? Did you finish? You're gonna brush your teeth? I'm in Panama City. Pamela will let me send a super chat. Panama, what's up? Why does she and Kay have to wait 5 years? I think that's when she'll do it. Like calm down type of thing. She doesn't have to wait any amount of years. She could do it right now. What time did Shan's phone hit the router when she arrived home? She was there 5 minutes before she walked in the door. I think it was 2:01, 1:57, 1:58. I remember it was 5 minutes. They were in that driveway. Like, whenever you're however close you can get, and then your phone can hit like your. I mean, I have the home Wi-Fi, so like my shit can go far, but I can hit my Wi-Fi at the beginning of my street, but I have the extra pump. Um, Meatloaf. You want more? All right, you have 2 minutes. You can have a little bit more. Um, I bet the DA was confused when he doesn't even know. He he lied and said that Chris was planning a getaway to Aspen. Amanda Thayer can speak on that. Amanda Thayer was watching the kids because Shanann had asked her to watch the girls so that they could go to Aspen. So how is what's Chris going on a 3-way getaway? He's just gonna have a thriving weekend. Hang tight. All right. I can't either. Oh, no, I'm not a Netflix newbie. It is fact that Discovery says she Googles Shanann December 20. Yeah. Oh.
This is heavier than dragons. This is heavier than 100 dragons.
Dragons.
Mom, help.
How do I have to help you?
Yes, I can barely get it.
Okay, hold on. All right. 100 dragons, man. We got lots of dragons, man. Lots of dragons. Here, let me just scroll down. Sorry, scroll. Oh. I'm a multitasking phenomenal person over here. Wow, that's a heavy 100 dragons. I know, I love him. Heavier than 100 dragons, man. He's the best. So he fell asleep. He took a late nap. And you gotta hate when that happens, but right before I went live, actually, he woke up. So we played hard today. Again, I look at things and I said to myself, why is Chris lying to a police officer? His phone's clearly working. He's on his phone with Nicole Kessinger that night. The police call, if you're on your phone, you get two-way call, so it's beeping in. And I think he tried to click over and it didn't work, or he was trying. I don't know what actually he was trying to do. If he was trying to click over and then merge the call so that Nicole Kessinger could hear and it wasn't working, I don't know. But what I can tell you is that, why didn't Chris just say, I'm on the other line? I was on the other line when you called. He said, my phone isn't working or something. I mean, whatever. What did he say? Um, um, trust me, I went back and forth on, to me, this wasn't about, and it never will be about if Chris is guilty, innocent, who's guilty, who's innocent. This is about when you do something the right way, this stuff doesn't happen. And I feel for the Rusiks because I believe that if Weld County would have done their job, that their family would not be going through what they're going through. When someone says, why didn't the families fly down there? I can tell you only what my conversations with Jamie were, which I agree with Jamie. Jamie's like, well, Lana, we thought Chris was like, Chris said he was getting divorced. He's going to go get a divorce. He's telling Shanann. When Shanann finds this out, she's going to flip. So she took the kids. She's like, when we saw that, like, the police were involved, my immediate thought was, oh, shit. Like, Shanann's going to be in trouble. Like, the police, what is she doing? Like, come home. You know what I mean? Like, all right, enough's enough. There was you're not thinking. And if anybody can say that they're thinking that 3 people would be dead, I'm sorry, but you're lying. You're lying to yourself. Or whatever situations you're in, you need to get the fuck out. If that's what you would think, if you didn't get a hold of somebody, if that's what that's, your head just doesn't go there. And like I said, if it is, then whoever you're around, not good. Um, Why is NK taking daddy to the interview? Chris Watts' dad was in the interview, the end of the interview. I guess Nicole Kessinger and Chris Watts like their dads. How about a better question is this? It's not about Nicole Kessinger. Why the hell are the police allowing that? I mean, have any of you guys been ever interviewed by the police in a matter that you have no idea about? Like, okay, well, I'm going to bring somebody. Is that okay? If they tell you it's okay, then how is it on me? I mean, why can't we really look at what the problem is? And this is what the problem with this case for me is you would think Colorado would get it the fuck together. All the shit that goes on in Colorado, JonBenet Ramsey case. I mean, it starts there and it continues on. All the shit that happens in Colorado, you would think, when the fuck is Colorado going to get it together? They can't seem to investigate and do things properly to save their fucking lives. When's that going to happen? And so if people have a problem with Dwayne Kessinger being in that interview, you should probably talk to the police. You should probably talk to the FBI. You should probably talk to whoever interviewed her. And she was, you also have to say, it wasn't like she was being interrogated. She wasn't, but that's on the police. That's on whatever law enforcement agency did that. I know NK went in with her daddy. It's not again, how was that NK's problem? It's not. NK called a PR firm, not a lawyer. She called a PR firm. Just remember that. She didn't go and call a lawyer. She called a PR firm. I don't think she was too scared that she committed any crimes. I think she was more scared of holy fucking shit. Like, come on, you guys. You guys all watch the ID channel. You guys all do. I mean, I know how you guys would all think, and you can say whatever you want, but she was on the phone nonstop with her parents on that Monday, Tuesday. But like, look at the phone records. The girl was talking to her parents. What do you think she was talking to her parent? NK was scared because she was involved. Then she would have lawyered up. Because I don't think she's as dumb as Chris. How come Rourke married a woman he defended in court? Is that normal? I mean, these questions are objection, relevance. Renee, I think that you should go to the man camps. I could tell you where NK is. Do you want to go see her? I'll tell you where she's at. Go find her. She's not that hard to find. Go ask her all these questions that you want to, but so let me get this straight. Like, think about this, Renee. Just think about this for 1 second. So, CBI, FBI, all the different police departments. This woman put these babies in the soil tank. It's all right. Who cares? What does Colorado gain by not slapping her on the wrist with cuffs if she's so guilty? And if it was so evident, and if she was there that night, and if they could put her there, slap the girl with some cuffs, and throw the key away. Like, if anybody thinks that that the state needed Nicole Kessinger to get Chris Watts for this crime. I beg to differ. Um, I think that these officers thought that she was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Why is this broad messaging me in the middle of the night, texting me this stuff? Like, um, and we have no idea if she was asked to type something up and to turn it in. Um, Hi, Lana in chat. Been with Lana since the beginning, but never comment. I do watch videos. Thank you. They have nothing on her because, like, I mean, I went through it all. The stuff that she messed up was stuff like about a babysitter. Oh, did she tell, like, the question I always want to know is who wanted to go out that night? And it was Nicole Kessinger because Chris was going to cancel. Chris was going to cancel and not, he's like, I should have never fucking went to that stupid fucking game. If he doesn't go to that game, in his mind, nothing happens. And so I kept playing that. Why does he think that? Why does he think that? Because the fucking roof blew. Because that's when Shanann found out everything. And see, that's what Chris's little mind thinks. But I think that Shanann knew a lot more before then. Because if Shanann's is possessive and controlling as everybody says, um, all she had to do is take one good look at that phone record. I mean, what do you think went down in North Carolina? I mean, how is Chris making the phone calls to Nicole Kessinger? Where the fuck is Shanann? They're in a hotel together. He just went off walking every night and talked to her for 100 minutes, 86 minutes, 88, 43. I mean, all Shanann had to do, because she ran a cell phone store, is go online and check the call log, and you're going to see who your man's calling or who's calling your man. And then it always made sense to me that if she did not know a single thing until Arizona, then she'd flip a fucking gasket. And so, is it possible that his claim is that she did something to the girls and then he did that? I mean, I'm just saying that these fucking detectives and these FBI agents and this DA and these CBI people, and I actually have no issues with the CBI and FBI, but these police officers, um, they have no idea what the fuck they're doing. Clearly, um, police are corrupt, and I think that it's, if you actually pay attention, if people in this community would stop googling people like that don't fucking matter and actually look into law enforcement, because it's kind of like the ref in a football game. Who can actually fix a football game? The ref. Throw a flag. 15-yard penalty going back. Oh, wave off the first down. Nope. 15-yard penalty. Wave off the touch. I mean, who can really fix a game? The ref. Who can plant evidence? Who can take away evidence? So people in this true crime community, when I hear people are like, "Oh my God, KK has ties to NK," and you guys are googling people's names and finding out their ancestry and all this stuff, I'm sorry, but I'm dead. I'm laughing because I'm like, what a waste of fucking time. What a waste of time. So let's even hypothetically say that KK and NK knew each other. Who the fuck cares? And how the fuck does that matter? And what does that matter? What? Take your time and read the evidence. And when I say the evidence, it's the discovery. Oh, why would we do anything fucking smart like that? Why would we ever do anything like that? Lana, do you think that the trip to North Carolina for 6 weeks was a... No, I think it was because they were broke. They were broke, and it was free babysitting. And so she had the kids with the parents during the day, and she's doing whatever because she couldn't afford to have them in Primrose. Um, as far as like a trial separation, I mean, um, I don't see that. I see it being a money thing. Doing been verified reports on unemployed cat ladies. No, it's like you know, it just it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, thank God, you YouTubers and your fucking research teams are not in law enforcement. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. God forbid we read. Do you think she was trying to get back with Chris? Um, I did question something changed. Something changed, and I think it was that Chris Miller did say something to her like, this shit ain't happening. Yeah, because she said that she was gonna get back with him. I want a couple. You want some raviolis? You want to try a cheese ravioli? I was making some homemade raviolis. You guys like that Italian. Um, I think that something happened around July 4th. I think it was like July 3rd, 4th, but um, I know that with any type of sales position, MLM, whatever, it doesn't matter. You have to get out there, and work. And I think that she knew that she had to like bust her butt and like build back her business because it wasn't making any money and it was a problem. And I think that she said that, and but she couldn't be paying out that type of money. I also know that those type of places, they don't just hold your spot because it's all about, we have kids in our program because that's how we make money. We can't just leave these spots open and vacant and lose out on this money. So unless you got somebody to take your spot for only that period of time, knowing that they're going somewhere else, like that's how those places work. Um, if we think for a second that Shanann was being honest with Primrose, that's just asinine. Um, I thought that the car was separate. I did a whole spreadsheet of their finances. Again, my Facebook group got like, they got the works, they got it all. Um, but I did a whole list of expenses versus income, and there's a bunch of money that's actually unaccounted for because she was behind in the mortgage payments. And so I did a thing, and I was like, "Where's this money at?" And I believe that there's a stash of money somewhere. I do, just because math is math. But if you're not, you know, it wasn't like they owed to. They hadn't paid the mortgage since. It was close to $10,000 when I done the math. Like I said, I have to grab all my stuff out, but um, she didn't pay the mortgage the last 2 months. So where's that money going? What's good?
Mommy, could you put this in the freezer?
What part of it? Hold on, please. Get on the flow. Yeah, Tammy Lee should have been fired. She told her husband Joe. Yeah, I mean, danger. All right, guys, gonna give it up for Cincinnati. We're gonna do a shot for the Cincinnati Bengals. Are going to the Super Bowl. I'm making us 6 homemade raviolis right now. Yeah, I've gotten wrapped up in the anti-MLM. Um, you know what's crazy is when NA went to the house and they couldn't get in, supposedly, like her version. Wouldn't you like go around to the neighbor's house and like ask, "Have you seen them?" Oh wait, no, you wouldn't because that's weird. Like if I go to my friend's house and they're not home, I don't go and ask the neighbors. Oh my god, have you seen them? Kind of get what I'm saying? So that's just what told me that this had been going on for like. Did you go down to the pool? Did you like swipe the area and just like drive around your car and like look? Were they like on a walk? Were they? What does Shanann do daily? What's her routine? I doesn't she go and do sales? Like I don't know, guys. I, that's how I know that I'm right. You don't freak out when you go to someone's house at 12:20, supposedly, for the first time, supposedly, and they don't answer. You're not thinking the worst. But if this shit was happening at like 8 o'clock in the morning and all this stuff, because you either woke up and she wasn't there or you got there early in the morning because that's what you guys had planned on. But either way, there's no way that you're getting there at 12:20 and being and acting like this. That's where's the logic in that? Tell me the next time a friend comes over to your house and you're not there and they are fucking on the phone with the police. It just doesn't make any sense. You're the best group. I'm going to hell. I definitely believe she was drinking. You've been listening to Kim Kaufman too much. Um, Shanann's not big. Shanann's not a big drinker. You know how I know this? Because I actually asked people about it because I thought it at first too. You know, um, the girl's just not a boozer. She's just not. I'm, you know, God rest their souls and stuff like that. But they didn't lead a life like I lead a life. Like, shit, try to keep up with me, man. Um, how are they going to Aspen? Um, there's no money. How do you look at your bank account and see just for hypothetical speaking, see $5,000 and know that you have to pay your mortgage and pay your kids' tuition and it's gone. Fuck, what about grocery shopping? What about your bills? I mean, what about the HOA people that you have to go to court for? I mean, um, truth and transparency. How did NA know about the play date at 9 a.m. in the morning and nobody has spoken to Chris at this point? I don't know if NA knew about that. All I can tell you is that Primrose was called at 8:30, and the person supposedly was Sandy. Why would Sandy call Primrose? And that's why I know that I'm right. The only reason you would call Primrose and not your kid is because if somebody told you that your kid did not have their phone because you had their phone. That's the only way that you wouldn't call them. I mean, hey, I'm here at the house. I have Shanann's phone because Shanann's phone's here, but she's not here. Well, did she take the kids to school? Well, her car's here. Literally, everything's here except for Shanann and the kids. Well, what's going on? Well, has Shanann told you know what's been happening? What happened in Arizona? No. Oh my God. Well, we found out that Chris has been seeing somebody and da 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 and da da da. Like all this stuff would start coming out, right? Well, why wouldn't Sandy call Shanann's phone before she called Primrose? Because she was told, I have Shanann's phone because I'm here at the house. Because either I slept over or I just came by. And it's up to you guys if you want to not believe me that she could have possibly slept over. Because it was super late at night and because shit was whack. Or she was supposed to come there in the morning to help her, to be there, to help her with the kids because they were going to be leaving and not staying there anymore. I'll come over first thing in the morning. We'll get the kids all, we'll get everything. We'll pack it all in my car and you can stay with us for a week. You can just, there was some plan in place. Don't know what, because I'm not those people. Like I didn't make the plans, but, Nicole Atkinson was in that house prior to Sandy calling Primrose. Betcha bottom dollar you were best under pressure. Yo, Sandy, I want to taste you. We'll get your lips wet because it's time to have pep. I'm drinking wine at 3:30 in the morning. Hell yeah, girl. And you know what? There's nothing. Sandy doesn't call Chris Watts until 10:20 a.m. Correct, and only asks where Shanann is. And I'm telling you why, because she overcompensated. She overcompensated by only asking where Shanann is. Because if she would have asked where Shanann and the kids were, she couldn't. Because what do you mean where the kids are? But she should have. Because then he would have been like, well, they're at daycare. Maybe he would have slipped up. You know what I mean? Who the fuck knows? But Sandy only said, where's Shanann? Like, is Shanann okay? Why wouldn't you be saying, is Shanann the girls okay? Because remember, she called Primrose. They said that they were not there. Well, why is that such a secret? Why does it have to be such a secret? I'm going to tell you why. Because the only way that Sandy Rusick knew about it, the only way, is because Nicole Atkinson was in that house. Period. I'm still here with you guys. I'm going to take a look at my raviolis I'm making. Oh my God, to the moon and back again. So remember? No way. I didn't know you weren't. Okay, girl. I see you. I see you, baby. Shaking that ass. See, this was the big deep dive that I, showed everybody on J for Justice, where everybody was like, "What? Oh my God, what?" And I'm like, "Y'all bitches, I'm right. I'm right." Cassie said, "If you knew the emotional state Shanann was in, love you, girl, love you." What happened at 9 a.m.? Well, at 8:30 a.m. is when Primrose was called by Sandy Rusick. Chris Watts called right before that to let them know that the kids would not be attending anymore because, and see, I don't think there's anything weird about that, because they can't afford it. That's why I don't think it's weird that he would be saying they're not attending anymore. Not that, oh, they're not living anymore, but so to say that they're not attending anymore, to me, that's not weird because they had that talk. Okay? I believe that they had that talk. That's why, hello, she went to 6 weeks in North Carolina. They cannot afford that place. So, Shanann, you're going to be with your children. That's period, end of story. Or, Bella starts whatever, kindergarten, whatever it may be, but they're not going to Primrose and spending $2,500 a month. It's just not happening. We're not gonna have a place to live so that our kids go to Primrose. Like, what don't you get? Like, how is that a very that's a very simple conversation. Hey, tell your parents to move back in for all I care, but kids aren't going to Primrose anymore. Oh, for the record, I became a Lana fan after the J for Justice episode. Whoop whoop. But let's talk about the truth here and logic. Truth and logic and transparency. You guys, there's no way that Sandy would have to stay on the stand. Sandy, have you ever called Primrose before? No, I haven't. Why did you call that day at that time? Like I said, I had a vision. Is that really what she's gonna say? She could, but then they could say, well, you received a phone call from Cassie and NA on a 3-way phone call, and that was right before you guys then called Primrose on that 3-way call. Then you guys just decided to call there. And you called there 3 times that day. And then one of the calls you said, well, don't tell anybody I called. Well, why is it such a big fucking deal? Who gives a shit? You're looking for your goddamn grandkids. Why? What's going on? That's what you guys have to ask yourselves is why did it have to be such hush? Like, and I believe it's because when you want to talk about the last person that could have possibly seen Shanann, if Nicole Atkinson was in fact in that house, like, there's a very good possibility she could have then been the last person to see, because Chris leaves the home and then here's NA. NA's in the house. Well, so who's the last person there? NA. That's problematic. I don't think it's weird either. And what he asked if the girls are there, but they don't find it odd that Sandy called 3 times, then says, don't tell anyone I called, everything is fine. Yeah, that's weird. That's problematic. And what she was doing, guys, though, is she was only doing this because she knew the only way that she knew this, the only way she knew to call Primrose is because Atkinson and Cassie, because of Atkinson being in that house and having Shanann's phone. That's the only, you guys, anybody that's going to disagree with this, I'm sorry, but I don't even want you watching my channel, because then you don't have logic. No, my mom would never call Jax's school and be like, hey, is Jax there? They'd be like, who is this? Oh, it's his grandma. Who? What? First of all, this day and age, no, they'd be like, what the hell? Like, that just wouldn't fly. But and then she called back again, and then, ma'am, what can we help you with? Why are you calling here 3 times? What's going on? Like, that is not normal. None of that is normal. Especially on a day that all of this shit goes down. And how do you know that Shanann doesn't have a phone? Shanann doesn't have her phone because you have it. And that's why you knew that Shanann even had a doctor's appointment, because you saw that the doctors called. They left a voicemail. And I have it all down. And I can tell you everything that happened that day, down to a T, except for 2 things. I just there's two things which I believe that they're probably vivid alarms, but I'll tell you everything that happened that day. I can't tell you who did what, but I can tell you everything that took place as far as um, Shanann's phone and calls that happened afterwards, and why this happened and why that happened, and why hasn't it ever been released. I want the number that called 911. Where's that? Do a public request act. Somebody take the time and get the phone number that called 911 that day. Now that'll be interesting. We've heard the 911 call, and get the call log for the 8 or 9 o'clock phone call. You guys, they called the police earlier. That woman, Party Patty, had it down that Nicole Atkinson called at like 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30 in the morning, 9 o'clock, or 9 o'clock in the morning. Oh, right after when Sandy called the frickin'. I mean, um, V for vindicated. What's the oh wow for? A lot of things I do is oh wow. Don't forget to thumbs up this mother. Jenny from the blog, yeah. Yeah, but we need the number. We need the number. Chris texted at 7:40 about the play date, but he texted Shanann that. He didn't text NA that. NA had her phone. So I love Party Patty. I want to know though. Somebody do a public request and see if you can find out the phone number that called 911. We we know that supposedly it's Nicole Atkinson that called, but if they were on a three-way phone call and actually somebody, like Cassie was like, no, I'm calling. And then she's like, well, maybe I should be the one that's talking because I live in, Denver or whatever. I'm just curious if that 911 call was actually Nicole's number or did it come from Cassie? Because why would there be this mix up of why was there rumored that Cassie called 911? Just curious. Just do a request act. See if they'll give it to you. See if they'll give you the number that called 911 that day. These raviolis are to die for. Technically, Party Patty is the GOAT. I love Party Patty. Why didn't they release Shanann in any logs and Google searches? Why did they wait till October 7th to put it into evidence? Because the defense was getting the discovery dumps. And if they would have typed up it and put it in when it was supposed to be put in, then the defense would have had that stuff. But if they held off, now we type up the report. There was no discovery to be had yet because it wasn't a report yet. That is what you call that's what you call Colorado shady. Is Chris Watts innocent? Don't know. Is Chris Watts guilty? Don't know. Would Chris Watts win an appeal? I believe so. Ravioli, yum. I know. Woo. Jenny, because he knew nothing. I don't even know what you guys are talking about up here. You guys want to hear a mess? All right, here's a good question for you. Ready? All you Watts lovers. Let's see how good you are. Hold on, I'm making sure that my son brushes his teeth. And yes, make sure. I'm right here, Poops. I'm not going anywhere. Okay, thank you. I'm right here. Is NA who he was talking about saying he wasn't supposed to be there? I never had that conversation with Chris. I never talked to him about anything. Actually, I just did what I did. But I did ask Chris if they had the 360 Life app, if he had any type of GPS, apps, and he said not that he knew of. These are the best raviolis ever.
Mommy, look how fast my character's getting.
Is it super fast?
That was how fast it's getting, Mom.
Let me see.
Come over here.
Oh my gosh, how does that do that?
Because I get all these little things.
Okay, well, we have to do prayers at nighttime. Tried to feed my son ravioli tonight. He said no. Oh, bedtime. Okay, here's the question. Ready?
I did the purple one. Now I need to see if I could do. Whoa! I just did that one. We did the purple one.
Why did the
How did I do that?
The people that put the Discovery together, aka let's just say the gang unit.
Okay.
But if Addie Maloney was so worried about her friend, why is there no text messages between Addie Maloney's phone texting out to Shanann? Because I went through Addie Maloney's text messages and they stop when they're in Arizona. And they resume when she's texting Chris to say, hey, what's going on? I thought she was so worried about Shanann. Well, where's all her text messages saying, hey, girl, what's up? Just want to know how you're feeling after, basically finding out that your man's a cheating bastard. Okay, I'm lost. Why would Sandy have her phone? Sandy didn't have her phone. He's the best. Yeah, V for Vindicated, you're missing it. Nicole Atkinson had her phone because Nicole Atkinson was in her home. She's in her home. She's walking around at 9 o'clock in the morning, or actually 8:15. And she's like looking for Shanann at like 8:15 in the morning. Goes upstairs to her room and sees her phone laying on the dresser, by the bed. And is like, what the hell? That's why actually Nicole never made any of those phone calls to her earlier, because she knew like she was already there.
That was so close.
This case kills me. I worked with all these girls. What girls? Oh my God, you worked with Cindy Dorsett. I call her Cindy Dorsett. You know how many times Cindy called the police station? Cindy called and said, oh my God, check the garbage. If Shanann, if there's not wrappers in that garbage, that means Shanann never took her 3 steps that morning.
Oh, no, I just did the...
Quote unquote by Cindy Dorsett. I call her Cindy Dorsett, like I said. Did you know that?
I got from the blue India. Okay,
I mean the lady who dropped her off. I believe that Nick dropped them off, but that's just me.
Let's do the purple again. 2000 purple.
That's the other thing, is that do you guys really think that
purple is easy?
So she just left her car there for the weekend, right? Is that what you guys think? I say no way.
Yeah, I just think.
The other thing is I have it on camera, a picture that Nick was driving the vehicle to leave Shanann's to go to the hospital, to go to the doctors that day. And they want to make it a big deal that Oh my God, he didn't even have his license. I can put Nicole Atkinson in the passenger seat while Nick is driving. She has her white sunglasses on the top of her head, and Nate's camera caught it.
So close. But then you done. You done. You done. You done. One. Oh, a good one. I got 600.
Also, we all know how the ring works. If you open up your door and you walk outside, the ring picks it up, right? So if Chris saw the notification go off and he just sees homegirl standing there at 12:10, okay, he thinks that she's just at the door. He doesn't know that she came out the door. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have cameras in that house. He looks at his phone at his app and sees door open, okay? And what do you think Chris is going to do? He doesn't remember. He's like, wait, did I lock the door that morning? I didn't even go out that door. Shanann came in that door that night. Chris didn't touch that door. Remember, everything that he does is with the garage. So he has no idea about that door. You know? Now Shanann being the way that she is, because out of habit, when you come home at night, you come in your door, however you close it up, because that's a habit type thing. So I believe that Shanann would close the door, lock it, latch it, boom, continue on. So, but the truth is, and like I said, none of us would be here if people would just tell the truth. The truth is, they lied about Amanda Thayer's plane information. They redacted stuff of that. They changed the Ann Meadows stuff with her texting with Chris and stuff. NA was in that house. The phone was with NA because when Amanda texted, it it sent back that I'm driving, yada 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 crap. You know, I'll get back to you when I can. That's the message that got sent out because Amanda Thayer, you know, puts that in her written statement, which I guess maybe I'll do an Amanda Thayer, you know, episode. But all this shit, all these things, you can't look at it and be like, oh, just that day all these odd things happen. No, that is not logical. That is not, I don't believe in coincidences. Like 15 things can't happen. That's just a coincidence. And then the cops of all things, why wouldn't you write up the fucking report about Nick and his statement and enter it into evidence? No, they had to hold on to it because they knew it wasn't his 360. They knew it wasn't her 360 Life app data. They know that he was lying. They were trying to hold off on that stuff. But once they got a deal, then they put it in. They already knew that Chris was taking that deal. That's why it went into evidence. That's why it went into discovery October 7th and not August 20th. September 21st, you're going to have the date and the time before the actual event. Get the fuck out of here. I just proved it. September 21st, what? They basically made that happen so that in court, everything that Nick said in his statement could be quote unquote, you know, oh, well, yeah, it happened here on the 21st when we went there for this random fucking reason. Fuck out of here. That's why Sandy didn't call. She knew NA had it. Yeah, because NA told her I have Shanann's phone. That's why Sandy called Primrose. Well, Shanann never not has her phone. Okay, well, I'm calling Primrose. And for all we know, maybe it wasn't Sandy making one of those calls. We don't know because we don't have the call log. And that was just an initial interview with the people from Primrose. Okay? I bet you if you went back and talked to one of them, or if they're willing to talk, it'd be interesting to see what they have to say. But my question only, you have the blah to investigate Dick Cheney. Derek Bigwig can make CBI FBI shut it down. Oh my god, really? Yeah, that's for somebody else's channel. Sorry, Bling. And they turned it off. That's why when it cut back and any messages went through. Yeah, it's just there's a reason that NA or that Sandy didn't tell Chris. She just said, "Hey, where's Shanann? Is Shanann okay?" She couldn't talk about the kids, and that's why she told Primrose, "Don't say that I called because everyone's gonna say, why did you call? Why would you call there?" She was trying to cover that for NA, and at that time they didn't know what the hell was going on. They didn't know if Shanann. They didn't know what had happened yet. So they're over here not knowing, like, and if Shanann's in a bad state of mind, well, how was she? I don't know. She was talking all weird stuff, and we're trying to talk her that, like, life is worth moving on. Remember what Josh Rosenberg said? Like, I'm just saying, like, these people didn't know what the fuck to think. Nobody did. And they all know Chris as being, like, an amazing guy, right? So, but yet he's a cheating bastard because we just caught him cheating. Well, just because he's a cheater, we don't think that he did anything to anybody. You know what I mean? Definitely not the kids. Like, they didn't even ask about the kids. Nobody was asking about the kids. Because I don't think anybody believed that Chris could ever harm the kids. But at the end of the day, none of that matters. What matters is this is what the evidence shows. And it shows that y'all called Primrose at 8:30. Why? Why would Sandy call Primrose? Oh, I haven't heard from Shanann, so go ahead and call Primrose. See if the kids got dropped off there. What? Okay. But that's not the testimony from Sandy. What I don't understand is why the ones that was changing the story didn't get in trouble. They better be glad they don't live where I do because they would have been locked up for. Sandy admits she called. Yeah, Sandy admit. Yeah, she called 3 times. She admits all that. Did NA see evidence of a struggle then? No, you have to think about what the house looked like. The house looked fine, except if you went in the bedroom where I believe Shanann's phone was right next to the bed, like where she keeps it, where she charges it. She would have just seen the bed stripped, like the sheets were off of it. Which I don't know. She just got home. She wasn't there that weekend. So what I would have thought when I got there is that Shanann took the kids to school. If I slept there and I woke up and Shanann wasn't there and the kids weren't there, I would have thought, okay, Shanann took the kids to school. She'll be back. So I'm waiting and I'm waiting because I wouldn't go and check the garage. I mean, I don't think I would. I would probably call, but I wouldn't need to call if I was in the house because if I'm, hey, Shanann, like, I'm calling for her. I go upstairs and I notice that she's not there, but I see her phone's there. I'm like, oh, wow, her phone's here. So that's a reason that I wouldn't call her phone because I know her phone's there. So I'm waiting. Okay, 15 minutes goes by, 30 minutes goes by. Well, here, her phone's going off. And then she's seeing things come through. And if she's a nosy, but I don't fucking know, she would see who had been calling and what was being texted. And so if she saw any of that stuff, which was Chris saying, something about a play date, let me know where, like something about you and the kids at 7:40 or whatever. You just have to think logic. Me personally, if I wake up at a home and I'm supposed to be thinking that kids are going to be in there and my friends there because I stayed in the basement because I didn't want like Chris to know I was staying over. Because otherwise you would just sleep on the couch, or one of the spare bedrooms if they had a spare bedroom. It wouldn't be such a big secret. But I think it needed to be a big secret because I think that she was planning on like helping her like get the kids and leave that next day. after what they found out. You don't need to be staying there, or, or telling Chris to leave and you want to be there so that there's no, altercations. I don't know. But NA was either drove there, dropped off there, or slept there. And all of this happened before 8:15 a.m. She had her phone because she was inside that house. Because how that house was locked up, you also think about this, that house could have been locked up that way. There's other ways to get into that house. Did she have the other garage door opener? Why did Chris open up the fucking Lexus and look in there? What do you think he was looking for? Why do you think he called and was like saying, like, what are you guys doing? Like, get away from the house. Like, are you like, because they kept fucking with shit. And he didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And they were setting the Vivint alerts off. And I think Chris thought, okay, did she have like one of the garage door openers? Did she have her garage door opener? Because remember, Nicole Atkinson watched the house supposedly when they were all in North Carolina. So I don't know if Chris was open up the door. What was he looking for? What do you guys think he was looking for? That's what I think. I think he was trying to see where these garage door openers were. Lana, do you entertain the theory they had to leave and they're safe? What? Like that they're alive? No. I don't. No, not at all. No. No. No, actually, I speak to I've spoke to the family, with Chris, Dodge Correctional. He is there. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, no. If that's what you're saying, like that it was all set up. No, absolutely not. Sorry. This isn't the channel for that. What do you think he was looking for in the car? Possibly to see where these garage door openers were. I mean, people say like the ring. Why would Chris put the ring in Shanann's car? Like, do you think he had it in his pocket when he buried her? He's like, oh fuck, I can't leave that ring there, so I gotta, you know. When do you think he took the ring off? Well, if it was in his pocket, why would he open up the door? And what do you think he put the ring in there? I've heard people say that. I think he was looking to see how the hell Nicole Atkinson was already in that house. That's what I think. And he wanted to know if she had a garage door opener because the garage shit was going up and down. Because that's exactly how they left the house. And they ran over it and they like jumped over the thing. So, because that's what the officer thought was weird, is that Nick kind of gave it up, like, and said, yeah, you can jump over it and you can make it in time. It's like, who would ever know that? Yeah, he was looking to see where the garage door openers were. That's what I believe. He had one of them, and obviously Shanann had one of them. But he wanted to know, and he was looking to see where that garage door opener was. And it's never been talked about. It, you want to talk about logic? This is logic. I give up. Have you been up to 40? What? This is logic. We're all in fucking Arizona. And I'm with a bunch of my girlfriends. And they see me like distraught and like, girl, what's up? Is this like, what's going on? I don't know, Chris all of a sudden got a babysitter. And he's like he's going out with like his friend. Like he's never done this before. Okay. Like, but mind you, he's been sleeping in the basement the days leading up to her leaving. Okay. And then, they're doing whatever. And then she gets an alert because it's very normal for people to get alerts when people spend money on cards. Like, you could set your shit up that way. Okay. So there was an alert of how much money he spent. Then they start talking about it. Then, if people are drinking, they have more courage and they're like, girl, like, what do you mean you don't know if he's cheating? Just look at his phone bill. Like, and she's like, or look at his phone. And remember, she made that comment and she's like, no, he's not that stupid, or something about like that he wouldn't. Um, it, she made it seem like that nothing was in his phone, or he wouldn't just be that stupid to leave it in his phone. And then I think one of the friends, because I know this is what I would say, fuck his phone. You don't need his phone. Go on your fucking online account and see who like the numbers of he's been calling and talking to. Like, who, you don't need his phone. Um, so you got a bunch of girls that are MLMers, talking like this. And boom, then she's talking to the sitter and um helping the sitter out and whatnot. And they're probably like, why are you doing this? He needs to be doing this. You're supposed to be at, work and blah, blah, blah. They're in her ear. And then, boom, this amount comes through. And she's like, wow, that's a lot. What the hell? Like, why would he spend that much money? And so they all start looking it up. No, that's not what I think happened. Not at all. I think that they had already looked up his phone records before that, because they would have seen that to then. Why would it be? Oh my god, that's a lot of money to spend. Are you kidding? That wouldn't enter my mind that it's a lot of money to spend. Like, what do you want him to spend? Denver's expensive. If you bought some people beers, and then his like answer to that, I think is perfectly normal. And he says what he got, and well, that still doesn't add up. Oh, it must be like two people. So at the end of the day, she finds out about this in Arizona. Number one, she's embarrassed as fuck. Number two, they're going on wild goose chases. Like, let's see how far back this goes. Let's see this. What's? Oh my god, look at what he was doing in North Carolina. He was talking to her at in the middle of the night, all night. This is when she was taking pictures of him supposedly passed out sleeping. I mean, this is how girls get catty, crazy. All right. Like, and anything to talk about somebody else's problems versus your own. So, all these girls were in on that. And they'd already been talking about it leading up to it. So here, you don't think that all these girls went to town? And Graham from the CBS, he slips up and he says it when he was in Wisconsin. He says what they were doing. So all these girls are talking about all this stuff. They deal with cheaters, so they're probably telling her all this crap. And here, you just have to ask yourself, what type of person is Shanann? Like, is she gonna get pissed about it? How's she gonna react about it? Here she's pregnant with a child. Um, she has, obviously they have their two other kids, and Cassie Rosenberg and her man were supposed to be moving in with them for a little bit. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's just like, but that's what happened in Arizona. To a T. And then now they're trying to talk about how to handle this. So there would have been a game plan. And that's when Nicole Atkinson slips up and she says in her interview, well, not to like attack him. Like, she knew that he had this girlfriend, and she like knew all this, but it was all about telling Shanann how to be when she got home. That don't address it then, and
Don't say anything. He leaves. And like there was a plan then, I believe. Then she was just either gonna leave or they were going to, kick him out, put all his shit out on the lawn, take his shit, do something, change the locks. But like there was a plan in place that put Shanann or NA going over that house that next morning. Whether she slept over or whether she was supposed to be there in the morning. But that's why everything was so like, what the hell's going on? Because we had a plan. We were going to do this. And then, like I said, NA either woke up and no one's there, or NA got there in the morning and was either dropped off because she let her son then go over to Tulip Lane. But if you just look at the 360 Life app, the 360 Life app proves it. It proves that what I'm saying is 100% right, because that data is not NA's. It is her son's. So where is NA's data? 100% proven. Like, you cannot be there and have it and be on your phone, but your app, which is on your phone, arrives 10 minutes later. Like, you and Chris were already talking at 12:10, but your app arrives at 12:20. That's impossible. Oh, but it's possible because that's not your data. That's all. It's your son's data. And your son picked you up from the airport, so you would have all the same data except for a couple of different things. He's coming back from the airport, then he drops off Shanann. It says mom and Shanann. Then, he drops off Shanann, but does he drop off his mom as well? I don't know. But all that data is very, very similar, except for a couple different things. She's 100% in the house. It's logic. So would Sandy Rusick know about this prior to Monday morning? No. That Chris Watts was cheating, so Shanann Watts knows everything by Saturday night, right? I don't believe that Sandy knew about it. No, I don't. Nope. And you have to remember, Shanann didn't think that she was an equal with somebody like Nicole Atkinson. Shanann always was better than Nicole Atkinson. And when you're better than people, you don't tell them your deepest, darkest, like, vulnerable situations. You always have to be better than them. So you're not going to confide in them. That's just not what happens, unfortunately, when you think that you're better than people. The relationship with NA was more like NA and Shanann's mom, Shanann's mom. I mean, there was times when Shanann's mom was living there, NA came over and to Shanann's, and it was NA and Shanann's mom that went down to the pool and hung out. Shanann didn't go down there. Could I ask kind of off question? What do you think will ever happen to the house? No idea. I have no. It's actually really weird because I have no idea why they're being weird with it. Put it up for what is owed on it. Sell it for what is owed on it for the bank and be done with it. They're being really weird about it, and I don't know why. You don't need to be asking $650,000 or $700,000 or whatever's owed on the fucker. Put it on the market. You guys think that there was turmoil, and I'm sorry, there just wasn't that much turmoil. And I actually asked the Watts family about, when being in that basement, and it's the type of house that it's made and what you think you can hear. And like I said, I don't know what turmoil you think is happening, but if if Chris Watts is on top of Shanann, and covering her mouth or strangling her or doing whatever, like, I don't think that there's that much turmoil. Um, I don't, there was no violence. There's not a bloody, like, someone running around with a knife and stabbing somebody. None of that was present. And anything that you believe, I will say this for the record. If KK ever talked about how Chris supposedly got the bodies out of there, you need to get that out of your head. Chris never talked to KK about any of that. I come to find out after the fact. And whatever that woman said to me, that's all her. And I'm just like, that's when I was like, you're wow, dude. You are wow. You think that he's just dragging her, like thumping her around. And I just, so anything that you heard from that woman, just so we're clear, Chris didn't tell her a damn thing. So anything that she's telling the world and has told the world, that's just whatever that's her opinion. I don't, it wasn't a bloody bath. It wasn't, someone screaming, running away. It was, think about someone having sex in the room next to you. I don't know, but you're not in the room next to them. You're all the way in the basement. Like I said, could she have slept over there? Yes. Could she have got there super early in the morning because there was a plan in place? Like I said, yeah. It makes sense to me that somebody would sleep there when your friend is an emotional wreck. When your friend just found out all of this stuff. Okay, I'll just stay here and I'll help you with the kids in the morning. It's going to be fine. We'll figure it all out. Like, how is that not a normal conversation? To me, that's logic. No, you can't stay here because then Chris, I don't want Chris to know, or, or does she want her to be there? I mean, I just think it all has to do with, Shanann's mental state at that point and how she was feeling and what she was saying. But I'm telling you, the plan was, though, no matter what, that she was coming over there in the morning to help her with the kids. Help her with the kids. So either she spent the night or she got there early in the morning. Them's the facts. And it adds up perfectly. Time for bed. See you next time, Lana. It's been a great night. Learned a lot from you. Very long. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Thank you, V, for Vindicated. Appreciate that. I just played Chris Watts hesitating on Tammy Lee asked because he didn't move the bodies and cannot lie. You guys, so this is how I look at it. All of this shit, there's no guessing game. This would all come out. What everybody needs to focus on is the police work, the CBI work, the FBI work. Like, guys, our law enforcement agencies cannot do what they did in this case. It was bad. It was very, very bad. Very, very. All right, but I just realized how late it is. But don't worry, we'll pick up soon. I promise you guys that. You guys, all you Watts love.
again, just want to thank all my friends, all my mods, all my peeps. I knew KK wouldn't show because the only thing she can talk about is me and our imagination of love lives. So, Miss Marple's here. God, I love her. No, I don't believe there was a CPS case. Chris Watts said that he didn't know anything about a CPS case. So I believe in CPS cases, both parents are notified. But what do I? Oh, Jenny from the block. I know I'm right though. That's the thing. I know I'm right. That's the thing. Have you heard you know, any of these people ever talking craziness about Lana? No. They're not like, oh my God, this is so outlandish. Nope, because it's what happened. And what I'm trying to say is it sucks that it's I really feel like Bella, Cece, and Shanann, especially Shanann, should be vindicated of possibly killing her daughters. That really weighs on me, and I believe that that's on Denver. That's on Weld County. When you decide to give Chris Watts a plea deal, then it's on you to be the voice for Shanann, the girls, Nico, and to show that Chris Watts did all this shit. Not leave it up, not do what you did, not have a damn clue and release then Discovery, like, I don't even know, a week after, the whole shebang was on TV. That's who failed everybody, was Weld County. Period. And I'm sorry, but I think the Rusiks should shoot the shit out of them. I know I would. I would try. I used to listen to some KK lives and just laugh my fucking ass off, literally. Listen to laugh at the craziness. Hey, we want it. I know you want it. That's why I'm giving it to you, girl. Amazing 80. Totally agree with you. I would get notifications from people being like, oh, Kim's trying to talk about your digital evidence. I'm like, oh, fuck. No wonder why people think crazy shit, because she has no idea. Why are you talking about something that you have no idea about? And I told her that. I was like, and I like reamed her ass out. I will show my text. I'm like, what are you doing? Don't talk about my shit because you're just fucking shit up. You don't know what the fuck you don't even know how to explain it. You got everybody now thinking something that's not, like, I'm just like, God, woman, stick to the fucking autopsy. Get upstairs to bed, boy. You took me all right. I see ya. Oh, that better be water. What about Shan wants is just navy panties. What? Please just again sometime, Lana. Love. I have big questions to ask this time. Ask away. Give me a big one. I'll give you a big answer. Come on, let's end with a bang. Do I think KK shouldn't have a channel? Absolutely. Is there any way to petition to get full Discovery and not just Redacted one? No. Chris Watts is the only one that can get that. That's why Kim wanted power of attorney over Chris. Stupid fuck. I mean, tell that girl to go back to school. Just don't tell anybody, Lana, but me and Ryan, you're gonna get power of attorney over Chris. I said, and do what? We're gonna get everything and we're gonna put it all out there. I said, that's a fucking amazing idea, Kim. That sounds awesome. It sounds like it's for your fucking bank account. Oh, that she just had underwear on. Wait, she still has a channel? Yeah, she goes by Lala. Aunt Lala's channel is KK's channel. She took a 10,000 person channel and just, that's because, I mean, whatever. She won't have it much longer. She's already lost 2 channels. She had Thriving for the Truth, lost it. And then she had this one, which was Revelation the Reckling, lost it within less than a year because she violated terms of service. You can't reenact parental, it's a one-time strike. Go look it up. She's Oh, you're welcome, Courtney. I agree, Bad to the Bone. Just put it up for what it's worth or what they owe, and then call. Okay, I'll leave you guys with a little. She wasn't murdered until Tuesday, as she would have been out of rigor mortis and muscles. Oh, so that's what Mia thinks. She wasn't murdered until Tuesday. Hey guys, I pretty much dug up this case, and like I said, to me, I'm looking at what's in and on paper, and what these people wrote and said, and I think the best interview ever is when Graham Coder asks Chris Watts about Nick Atkinson, and he doesn't know his name. He doesn't know anything about Nick Atkinson, Nicholas. And it's just the best dialogue I've ever seen, because I think Graham Coder's super confused to the point that he's like, wait, is he fucking with me? Or, I mean, is he really being serious? Because this man has no idea who Nicholas Atkinson is, but Nicholas Atkinson is making it seem like he knows everything about Chris and the Watts family. Well, county took it out of foreclosure. It didn't pay off. Oh yeah, Jamie would know about that.
I wrote my name on the back of here. This is my paper I made.
Follow the big money. I wish if I went and read my CBI book, that interview, I laugh almost as hard as when I see Melissa Jade talking on panel. I think you didn't hear that? Oh my God, it's the best. I have to do a Graham Coder, Chris Watts breakdown. I have it all in, it's all transcribed. It's phenomenal. He's like, Nick? Who's Nick? Wait, where's Boston when I need her? She does a great impression. Okay, baby. You know what? Can we end on a laughing note? I'm a Clover still in here because I want us to laugh just for 1 minute, okay? Don't hate me. Just enjoy what I'm about to give you. It's gold. Oh, sit on my lappy. I love it.
All
Um,
right.
just another manic Monday. Ooh, wish it were Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. Say. Oh, wait, here we go.
The middle fingers.
Oh my goodness. Nick? Who's Nick? The LaBelle interview. Yes. The LaBelle interview. Okay, hold on, guys. Oh god. Stop sharing. I gotta share this. Jax refuses to go to sleep unless I'm Brian because he's scared. He's flat out scared, and it's really not okay. But we're gonna end on a funny note.
He handed me the cash, a smell, and I'm like,
here we go.
"You did, Kristen?" I sold one pair of panties for $50, but he wasn't happy because he wanted.
Okay, here we go. We have to end on a funny note.
Yes, Britt.
Ready?
You didn't hear this story that I said on one live? I was selling a pair of high heels I wore once, and this guy messaged me. I was wondering why a early 30s man was messaging me, and I was like, they were used once. I didn't even wear them, and he was upset that they weren't worn. And then I realized, these are for him. He liked the idea of a worn shoe, and then it turned into, let me pay you to kiss your feet. And then it went to, how much will you sell for a pair of panties? I sold one pair of panties for $50, but he wasn't happy because he wanted me to wear them for a few days straight and then give it to him, and I refused to do that. And then it turned into, he wanted to kiss the panties while you're wearing them, and I couldn't do that. But that was all through Facebook Marketplace. Wow. Oh, I got Santa Claus and God in my chat.
It gets better. It gets better, guys. Wait for it. What the fuck?
You did, Kristen? He was willing to pay me a lot of money to kiss my feet, but he didn't like my rules. No. Well, I gave him the panties, just me. But he offered to pay me a couple $100 to kiss my feet. But I said, you can't kiss my feet if you get aroused. And he couldn't guarantee he wouldn't get aroused. And I said, no, because I'm not a hooker. Like, I'm not doing it. I contemplated it, but I didn't do it. But I did tell him I put my panties in a Ziploc bag, and I gave it to him for $50. And he was mad because he wanted a smell. And I'm like, since when are guys mad that you don't have a smell? Like you should be happy I'm clean. Yep, $50. Easiest $50 I ever fucking made. Why would I do that? Because it was $50 and all I had to do was pull a pair of underwear out of my drawer. No problem with me. No, I couldn't. I'm too scared. And I'm like, what was the difference? I was going to give him my shoes. Yes, James. That's it.
What?
$50. All I did was I literally opened my drawer, took a pair out, put it in a Ziploc bag, met him, he gave me $50. I took nothing. Why wouldn't I do that? You guys are crazy if you turned down that offer. Took the shittiest pair of fucking panties I had, threw them in there, got $50. This was a couple years ago.
You're gonna be on my live.
I didn't have to lose my integrity to do it. I didn't ask for the panties. Listen, and I was simply selling shoes on Facebook Marketplace. It's not like I looked for it. I didn't say I trusted. I met him in a 7-Eleven parking lot. Went to the window, handed it. He handed me the cash, put it in my pocket, and then left. Didn't really take anything. I didn't have to lose my integrity to do it either. Trust me, I've worked at Victoria's Secrets, and you want to know some shady stories of what guys would come in and ask you to do there? Because they would. Oh, I'm looking for, a lingerie for my wife, and you happen to look just like her, but would you mind trying it on so I can see what it would look like on her? Yeah. It is, Miss Chronic Chronicles. It is. So people making it seem like it's this big deal, it really isn't. Not at all. Yeah, it's God.
I thought we were in the true crime community. This is how people get killed. I mean, risk reward. It was the easiest $50 I ever made. Or your life. I mean, we have rules here. If you kiss my foot and you get aroused, we can't do it. Me and Melissa did not have rules with our sexting. So I guess she went from having rules to not having rules, because this was a couple years ago. But it was the easiest $50 she's ever made. Oh my God, I would never meet these freaks. That's what I said. How does this even happen? How does this happen? How are you even in a situation to give somebody your 7-Eleven?
Mom, this is her in jail. Her in jail.
She's in jail.
Yeah, look.
Oh my goodness. Why is she gonna be in jail? You gonna put me in jail too?
And I'm gonna make her a little turd.
Okay.
Now her butt.
Oh God, we're doing butt turds now. All right, guys. On that note,
actually, he's peeing everywhere.
This is how 6-year-olds operate: peas and poops.
Look. Look. Because now we're a little pee hole.
No, Jaxie, we don't talk like that. All right, guys, enjoy it. Enjoy it while you can. Okay, one last time. I just want to hear this part one more time because I want to make sure I was correct here. Right here. This is what Kenny McKenzie is high-fiving nowadays. So let's just make sure we got this.
No problem with me.
No problem with me.
No, I couldn't. I'm too scared, and I'm like,
all right, we're going night. Let's go.
What was the difference? I was going to
Good night, everybody.
give him my shoes.
Good night, Cookie Buddy.
No,
Yes, James. That's it. $50. All I did was I literally opened my drawer, took a pair out, put it in a Ziploc bag, met him, he gave me $50. I took nothing. Why wouldn't I do that?
And what'd you do?
You guys are crazy if you turned down that offer. Took the shittiest pair of fucking panties I had, threw them in there, got $50. This was a couple years ago. I didn't have to lose my integrity to do it. I didn't ask for the panties. Listen, and I was I was simply
I didn't
selling
ask for
shoes
the
on
panties.
Facebook Marketplace. It's not like I looked for it.
Let's go. We're going night nights.
Shut your mouth.
I know we're going night nights. Bye, guys.
I didn't say I trusted. I met him in a 7-Eleven parking lot. Went to the window, handed it. He handed me the cash, put it in my pocket,
And he
and
took your
left.
license plate.
Didn't really take anything. I didn't have to lose my integrity to do it either. Trust me, I've worked at Victoria's Secrets, and you want to know some shady stories of what guys would come in and ask you to do there? Because they would.
Okay. Peace out, guys.
Oh, I'm
Enjoy your
looking
night.
for, a lingerie for my wife, and you happen to look just like her, but would you mind